Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Jones. I'm sitting here with my daughter, Madison Noel, and I'm going to be making a Father's Day video to the best dad any guy could ever ask for, none other than writer, artist Stanley Christopher. So, Daddy, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I suck at writing and mailing letters. I think I still have uh, birthday cards from like 2003 that you've never gotten. This Maddie, 2000. And so I wanted something that you could hold on to, that you could check out whenever you want it, because we're so far away and I only get a chance to see you um, every 5 or 10 years. Although I promise I'm going to be doing better beginning this September when I come to see you. I'll be bringing the whole family. So I just wanted to share some memories that I have and kind of express to you what you have done for what
I was just making a scary face.
you're making a scary face and what you have done for me and what you have meant to me. So let me give us some background music. Art of Noise took me forever to find this. It was either that or Fine Young Cannibals, She Drives Me Crazy, or Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. So I figured I'd do this. It's about 10 minutes of music. And so my earliest memories of you are from the row houses, I believe, in Gary, Indiana, with me and Tony on our big wheels, kind of riding all around. Your mama inside the house or on the porch, watching us, being good protective parents, making sure that we were always within earshot or eyesight. A lot of my earlier memories more have to do with feelings than actual memories. Like every time I think of you, every time I say your name, there's like this happy feeling. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do with my children, because just how the brain develops and how life experience kind of shape who we are. I wanted my children to associate the name Michael Jones with a good feeling. And that's how I feel when I think of Stanley Christopher. I don't know what they called it back in the day, but it was something like an IMAX theater where we would go, I guess, to Chicago, catching a train out there. And you would take us, mom would take us to like museums and zoos and parks. And I remember being inside the theater, and they took us inside the human heart, and we got to travel all through the blood vessels and veins and maybe capillaries or something like that. I remember being on top of a snow-capped mountain um, in the place of a skier and skiing down mountains, and that kind of exhilarating feeling. My memory tells us that they controlled the temperature so that we could feel the coolness, but that could just be a child's memory. I remember you teaching Tony how to make breakfast. Yes. Can you? No, you can't. I'm doing a video for Grandpa Stanley. Can you be quiet? I told you, you can sit here and be quiet, or you can go. What are you gonna do? It's your choice. Thank you. Teaching Tony how to make breakfast and how to iron clothes, and allow me to watch, because you felt like a man should know how to take care of himself. And so in elementary school, we were cooking and um, uh, learning how to iron. And I remember you and Mama teaching us how to fold sheets and blankets. And me and Tony were older, so we did everything together. And I taught Mikey how to fold sheets the same way that you and Mama taught us how to fold sheets. I remember riding in your lap. I remember you pretending to let me push the wheelchair. I remember your friend Derek, who I think has passed away since then. We were really young. I remember driving in the car and us almost hitting a deer, and that being the scariest moment of my life up until that point. I remember, I don't know if it was an earthquake or aftershocks in East Chicago when we were high in the building and had to get you and the kids, all of us, safely downstairs. Um, those flight of stairs because we couldn't use the elevator and you were in the wheelchair. I remember going to the beach and being in the sand, and then the rest of it's kind of like a blur because it's you've always been there. Strangely enough, I think I have memories of you before I have memories of my biological father. Um, and probably because you were there more often and also first, according to what you and Mama said, you were there from day one. And so you've always been in my life to the point to where I think some of your family member and friends think that we're biologically related when we're truly related by mind and heart. And I think that's an even better connection than those that are tied by the familial connections of blood. I may not have gotten 23 chromosomes from you, but I sure got my thinking ability and my processing ability and my stand up ability and my patient ability and my firmness and my resoluteness from you. You and Mama made an awesome pairing when we were children, two brilliant young people who were proud to be Black, but knew the sacrifice it would take to parent little Black boys in the cities that we come from. I remember moving to California and it feeling like I went from talking to you every day to every 3 months. Now, that might have just been my child's memory, but when I went to Norfolk State University from Vallejo, California, however frequently or infrequently you spoke while I was coming up, it immediately shifted to every single day. We talked every single day, sometime multiple times a day, the entire freshman year in college. And I even came to visit you during spring break, my freshman year in college, when I talked to you about my sociology professor, Dr. Deborah LaVille Wilson, I believe was her name at the time, and how hard she was on me. You told me then that I would be grateful by the end of the semester to have a professor to ride me like that and to be so challenging, and that would end up being my favorite professor. And truthfully, until I met Dr. Fairfax in the School of Social Work, Dr. Deborah Ville Wilson in the School of Sociology, I believe, was my favorite memory of my time at Norfolk State University. You're absolutely right. And with some hard work, I ended up getting an A in her class. Just kind of lessons that a father is able to teach a son, being able to live through the lens of if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different decisions. But also acknowledging the fact that, man, sometimes life is just crazy and you do what you got to do. Remember, my freshman year, you told me that the first thing I was going to have to figure out was what I didn't want out of life. And once I knew what I didn't want out of life, I could freely pursue all the things that I wanted to. And so I put that in balance with what Mama told me my freshman year, that God often opens doors and shows you what He has in store for you and then closes them and takes you another way. And when you put those two together, that's exactly how my life has gone. Not exactly as planned at all and totally worked out the way that I wanted it in the end. I think in addition to all the books that you sent to me, all the great conversations that we had on the phone, the single most important thing that you could ever have done for me, um, that was specifically for me and not like what a parent does for a child, but for me, was pushing me to establish a healthy relationship with my biological father. And I'm glad that you didn't have anything untoward in your heart for him, but helped me to see what life was like for men like you all at the time that you came up in the city that you came up, and helped me to forgive him for not being there without him ever having to say that he was sorry, and pushing me to have a close connection with him and to love him as a father, not because I was a respectful child, but because I really wanted to have a relationship with him. I remember when I got engaged, the night that I got engaged, I believe it was December 2004. And one of the things that I was frustrated about or angry about was the fact that I'm getting ready to create this family experience with my then fiance, now wife. And I had really no idea how to do it in a way that fit who I was, because my stepdad was cool, but we're different kinds of men. He could not articulate to me the way that I needed to be a man, um, the kind of man that I wanted to be. He taught me, discipline and hard work and how to be there for my family. But there are certain things that you can only get from family, like real family, like your dad, your uncle, your cousins, your granddaddy, your auntie, certain things that you have that are truly based on a familial connection, and that debate of nature versus nurture. From you, I got all the nurturing, but there are some things that are just Jones by nature. And without you, I would have truly missed out on that. I'm so grateful that you pushed me to be the best son that I could be, because I was able to develop a really good relationship with my father before he was diagnosed with cancer. And so I didn't have to have the foundation of my relationship with my father be one of, oh my God, I need to get right because I might lose my dad. Like, I had no idea that the cancer was coming. I was just listening to my daddy, going to talk to my dad, giving him a shot to be the kind of father he wanted to be. And we went from a relationship where I tolerated him and I was a respectful son, because that's the kind of person that you and mama raised me to be, to me and my dad being genuine friends and confidants, to one day actually having a father-son relationship. And then before he passed away, he was comfortable and confident enough in the man that I had become in his absence that he would actually call me and ask me for advice. And I think that there is no higher compliment that a son could ever have from his father than for his father to trust him to give the father advice in a time where sons still need advice from their fathers. And for me, that is by far the most significant thing that you ever did for me. And you've done a lot, but it was the most significant thing because I lost him in 2013. And, my world was forever changed because the relationship that we had, I think I only had him for a few years before he was gone. And those years I never would have had you not pushed me. You want some water? Go get some water. I got some water in the refrigerator. I got 2 cups of water in the refrigerator. You have one. So, I just want to say thank you for that. I mean, there are plenty of other memories, like me calling you and asking you to help me get some basketball shoes, and you were like, "Sure, son. How much money do you need?" Use the white cup. Get the white cup. That's mine too. Get the white cup. It's mine. And I think I needed like $20 more for the gym shoes because I had cut so much grass. I was able to save it. Just grab the cup because you're messing up my video for Grandpa Stanley. Grab the cup with 2 hands and leave me alone. Girl, you grab it with 2 hands, put it to your mouth, drink it. Just grab it with 2 hands. I got the refrigerator. Grab it. Grab it. 2 hands. That's 1 hand. 2 hands. Put it right to your mouth. Drink some. It's delicious. Water. So, I just want to say, thank you for that because that was real that was real cool. And to find out that all the years that you and Mama were together, um, all the times that he came to the house to pick me up, you guys had never actually met or had a conversation, but she showed a love and a respect. Come on, I'm doing a video for Grandpa Stanley. Come wave. You lean over and wave. Come down some. Okay, now come somewhere looking like your mama. It's the first time you ever look like your mom. Ew. Okay, be quiet. Doing a video. And for you to tell me that you guys had never met, but again, for you to show love and respect for who he was, because he was my father, and the part of me that you loved also came from him, just like the part that you gave me and the part that Mama gave me. And so that was real big, man, because I know some dudes, man, they be selfish. Like they just, they it's all or nothing. And you've never been that all or nothing kind of person with your kids. It's always just been all. It's never been all or nothing. It's always just been all. And so in addition to us constantly having dialogue about what it means to be a man and what it means to be a father, you took the time to send me books to kind of push me on my path. And so one of my favorites, and I actually still have it in my storage that you sent me, was Fire in the Belly. It's called Fire in the Belly on Being a Man. Of course, the 48 Laws of Power, which I've read cover to cover multiple times. And it's crazy that in using the stuff that I learned in Fire in the Belly and the strategies that I learned from, come on, the strategies. I don't want to talk, so you can keep pushing. Go wherever you're going to go, but we're not going to talk. From Fire in the Belly, and also from 48 Laws of Power, and then the conversations that we had beginning in 2000 about the issues that men face, how difficult it is to be a man. Now, for the last few years, I've actually been teaching a fatherhood curriculum. It's evidence-based. I was just on the radio as an expert on fatherhood in the community. And those conversations began with you 18 years ago when I was on the 4th floor in the Twin Towers at Norfolk State University. And so it's like crazy how even our casual conversations and the insight that you try to give me to help me to be a better person, I've been able to take that and push that into the community. Your insistence on me being the kind of man that respects my elders and also reaches back to give the people behind me a chance to succeed. I've done that in creating one scholarship and providing support and fundraising for another, doing 2 HBCU college tours. Like, just trying to do the things that you showed me how to do. Like we're getting ready to write a book together of poetry. That's crazy that a father-son gets a chance to do that. Like, I'm really, really excited about that. And speaking of poetry, like I'm just a nigga from Gary, Indiana. That's what they say. And you a nigga from East Chicago. We're not supposed to do what we do. We're not supposed to be how we be. We wasn't supposed to make it. The odds were against us. I was considered an at-risk youth because the likelihood of success of an African American male coming from where I come from, both Gary, Indiana, and even Vallejo, California, man, that likelihood was low. I wasn't supposed to make it to 21. I was supposed to have a whole bunch of kids by a whole bunch of women. I was supposed to be in and out of jail. I wasn't supposed to go to college. I wasn't supposed to graduate from college. I wasn't supposed to go to grad school. I wasn't supposed to halfway be completed through my graduate school program. I wasn't supposed to have my own business. Like this stuff, I don't know nobody that's doing the stuff that I'm doing. I never met nobody that's doing the stuff that I'm doing. But you believed I could do it, and you pushed me to do it. Found out we were pregnant with Amaya. You made me promise I was going to give my all to make sure that she didn't have to struggle with me the way you and Mama had to struggle with me, Tony, and Nene. And I've done the very best I can to be a good example, and also to be present and engaged with my kids, to make mama proud. But like I was saying, like some of the stuff that we do, we're not supposed to do. And like you supported me when I was different than everybody else, when I wasn't interested in spending all my time with girls, and when I wasn't interested in sports, and I was just interested in reading and poetry and, being sensitive to other people's needs before I even knew what the word empathy was. And then you was like, do you be you? You helped me to redefine what it was to be a man and masculine. And that started when I was in elementary school. So I want to give you these two pieces. They're not original pieces. I didn't write neither one of them. These is all by Shakespeare, but I wanted to leave you with these. And I learned, hey, look, I don't want no more noise. I'm about to do this video for my daddy, man. I'm doing this like I'm not doing no edits. Like I'm sending this like this gonna go on the internet forever. Stop it. You are not getting chips. It is 1:00 in the morning. You shouldn't even be up. Put the chips up. I don't care. Go to bed. You're not gonna be hungry in your sleep. So, be quiet. So I'm gonna do two pieces by Shakespeare. I think I'm gonna do Polonius Advice to Laertes from Hamlet, and then I'm gonna try if I could remember to do Mark Antony's oration over the dead body of Julius Caesar from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. So I think, and like I'm doing this from memory, I got no paper, but I just want to show the kind of impact that you have on me, because I don't know many Black boys that were exposed to this, that were supported in their intellectual and artistic development in this by their fathers. And because of you and mama, I was comfortable. I was in my element for a time being different. And so I was in the Gifted and Talented program at Elsa Wiedemann Elementary School in Vallejo, California. And one of the things that we had to do in the Gifted and Talented program in Miss Federley's class was recite a poem every Friday. And so every Friday from 4th grade through 6th grade graduation, I had to recite a poem. And I don't think in the entire time that I was at Wiedemann that I ever missed one. So 5th grade, I think, was U.S., and then 6th grade was international. I wasn't going to do the Gettysburg Address, but I went over it, and it's boring to me right now, so I don't want to try and recall it. But I did remember doing the Tillsbury speech, I believe, Queen Elizabeth. I remember doing the Double, 12 in Trouble. I remember doing from Hamlet, to be or not to be, that is a question, whether it is noble in the mind to suffer the slings and the arrows of outrageous fortune. That's all I can remember from that one. But from Polonius Advice to Laertes from Hampton, I said Hampton, family, Virginia. Polonius Advice to Laertes from Hamlet. I'm gonna do these two pieces and I'm gonna go because I can't think of nothing else. I haven't talked for 20 something minutes straight. It goes there. My blessings with you, and these few percepts in thy memory. See thou character, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. I think it goes, give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night, the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Yes, I think I got it with a minor part. I think there's a piece in here where it talks about how people do it in France, but it's like one line, but we didn't learn that, or I didn't remember that. But that's pretty good considering I learned that in sixth grade. That was like 1994. We're in 2019, and I still know that because it's important to me. Um, and then I won the poetry showcase for this. Highest first place votes in the entire school. But I don't know if, again, sixth grade. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men? Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withhold you then to mourn for him? I'm supposed to be solemn. O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts. And men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. And then the only poem that I know by heart that I've ever written, and I've written a lot of poems, right? Only one that I've ever written that I still know by heart is Soon to Die. I wrote this in 8th grade. I was 13 years old. I was in Miss Aranis class. And when I wrote it and took it to Miss Humphrey or Miss Humphreys, either one of those names, she was attendance person in the office. They had to check on me to see if I was okay because they thought I was suicidal. I had written a love poem for my girlfriend at the time, Tamisha Burke, called Sweet Valentine. And I actually have the original copy in pencil of that poem. And so when I wrote that one, my friend said, "Hey, Mike, write about death." And so I just sat down and wrote. It goes, "As I sit here calm and hesitate, I cringe in fear of my coming fate. Each moment I await, anxious, scared. I pray to God my life is spared. To do or die, those words I cry. Tempers flare, I'm soon to die. I wonder where their anguish flared to make them want to hurt me. I will not fight it. My fate is decided. To die is my destiny. As I sit here calm and hesitate, I cringe in fear of my coming fate. The gates are open, it's judgment day. I fear for my soul, my God. Is it really too late to pray?" Yeah, that got me sent to the office, right? If I'd have wrote that now, they'd have had the police at the school. But no, my friends just challenged me to write about death. I think the next poem I wrote was Prelude to a Broken Heart. I see you sitting there crying. Our love is fading now, dying. The tears are coming soon, blinking. Something about some thoughts thinking. It goes, "You broke my heart, I wonder why. I want the truth, no need to lie. Come feel my pain, it hurts like hell to know our love is done. I stand here alone crying now, not as two but one." That's pretty good. I don't know the rest of it, that's all I got. Um, that's pretty good. So I just kind of want to do this, really. I just want to do this for you. I want to give you something. I know it doesn't make up for all the years of calling on your birthday, but not sending cards, and calling on Father's Day and not sending cards. But I always thought about you. I was just really, honestly, I was just holding on. I was really just trying to deal with my depression. I spent a lot of time either, wanting to die or wanting to kill myself. And so I was doing 100 sometimes just to get out the bed. But I love you. I appreciate you. You're always on my mind. I mean, that's it. So I'm gonna upload this. Happy Father's Day. And what I might start doing is, instead of saying I'm, going to write or send stuff, I'm just going to do videos for you. So I know you had a great day, even if you ain't do nothing, because I talked to you and we was just cutting up and laughing. But so happy Father's Day today. Well, it was June 16th, 2019. It's 1 in the morning for me now. So it's after midnight for you. So it's, June 16th, June 17th. I hope that I have, at the very least, met your expectations for what you thought I could grow up to be. And it is my plan, before you shuffle off this mortal coil, to be able to say that I exceeded all your hopes and dreams for me, that not only did I live up to the potential that you saw when you would lay me on your chest when I was a baby. Um, yeah. So you can be like God and say, well done, my son. All right. Love you, Daddy.